Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu salam, rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to welcome to our program here at Sharjah Media Corporation. Getting to know Allah, getting to know your Lord, your Creator, your Sustainer, the one who is aware and conscious of all things, the one who was always here and will always be here. That nothing happens without His knowledge, nothing without His permission. That the smallest thing that you can conceive of, He is aware of it. And those things which we cannot see, He is aware of. And He's the one who's created all of those things, and He's the one who sustains them alone. And if we just look at that, let's look, how many fish do you think are in the sea globally? When two-thirds of the earth is water, more or less. So how many fish do you think are in the sea? So Allah knows what every fish is doing every second, every minute. Second, just think about the creator of that. Look at the heavens. If you can see the heavens where you are. Just recently I was in the desert, and my son, he looked up at the sky, it was late at night, and he said, Papa, how can anyone look at that and not believe in Allah? How is it anyone could look at this and see what it takes to design this and not believe in Allah? Shame. Yes, it is a shame that a person can look at the creation. And Allah tells us, go out and look at the creation. Man is not the greatest of his creations. Go out and look at the creation and see the power of Allah. Then think about it. And now scientists, through exploration, are finding out many things which they didn't understand before. But all of those things are created by Allah, however small, however big it may be. And it's decreed by Allah when they will be discovered. And maybe there are millions of things which Allah has not revealed to us. And He will in its due time. So it is not like we discovered it, Allah allowed us to become aware and conscious of it. It is something that Allah has created. We have just been aware of it for a short period of time. So what about us? We also have an expiration date. We have an expiration date. Yes, you are born, and after you're born, for some time, expiration date is documented. We're not aware of it, but it is there. So what is it that you are going to do about it? I'm asking everyone to look at this program. What are you going to do about it? Most people don't want to talk about dying. Oh, brother, it's morbid. Shut off the TV. Stop that, man. What's wrong with you? We're having a good time. We're having a party. Everybody's enjoying. And you're talking about the next phase of our existence, going to the grave. We're enjoying this existence right now. Forget about the next. We'll deal with that when we come to it. Extremely dangerous statement. You will not do anything once you go to the grave but answer the angels' questions. Who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who was this man who came to you? That's all you will be able to do to answer. This is not a joke. It is not a game. And many people who are adults are still playing this game as though it doesn't matter. I'll deal with the situation when I get ready. No, you will not. You'll be on lockdown. You'll only be able to do what Allah has given you permission to do. You will not be able to do not one single iota above and beyond that. Think about it. Think about, again, your condition, your reality. Who is your Lord? How do you worship Him? What is He pleased with? What is He displeased with? What is the reward that He has promised you? How will you get that reward? And how will you fall short? And for the people who say, well, brother, you know, I don't believe in the hereafter, man. That's fantasy, story tale stuff. I believe in the here and now. See, look at my palace. Look at my wife. Look at my bank account. Look at my cars. Look at my clothing. Look at who I associate with. This is all material. It will all be destroyed by Allah. It will have no value, it will be valueless. People will only are concerned about themselves. The men were not concerned about their children or their wives. The wives will not be concerned about their children or their mothers or their fathers or their husbands. Everyone will be concerned about himself. What will be his condition? What happens? What is going to happen to him? Yes, we have to get busy now. And I'm saying this specifically to the Muslims. We need to wake up and we need to remind the people, as many people as we possibly can, on a daily basis, that Allah knows your condition, but Allah can change that condition for you. But you have to be truthful. You have to make effort. You have to be sincere. You have to want change for yourself independently, and you have to want change for others. Sure, there are many people, they're going to the hellfire. We're not the judge. We don't know who's going where. We have responsibility to society. And we find today that much of the global society is poisoned. Satan has influenced the people in many different discourses to disobey Allah. And many instances do it openly and flagrantly, as though Allah doesn't know, or that Allah will not punish them, or that Allah has not punished people before. That He sends warnings for those who understand, those who pursue the knowledge to understand, those who read the Quran and sit and study. The average person that's spending all this time with other ignorance and darkness, his life will be dark. When it comes time for him to face his Lord, what will be his condition? What would he say then? Well, you know, things were expensive. Oh, you know, I had this opportunity to do so-and-so. Oh, you know, my family needs so I did this. We need to understand, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? How am I doing? What is the result of this course of action? Will it be benefit or will it be loss? Who will benefit? Who will lose? We have to have this concern. If we have this capability, we must have this concern for the condition of humanity as a whole. We may not be able to impact the world, but we should think like conquerors. And people say, oh, there you go, you Muslims, you want to conquer somebody. That's what I'm talking about, brother. You're warriors, you want to fight. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying just observe who is fighting us, who is fighting against us. And learn about what the Prophet ﷺ did in relationship to his enemies, how he approached them, how he encouraged them to come to Islam, how he encouraged them to leave their ways and to pursue the truth. So if we see that today, when we see all of the things that people are doing, we have to invite them to Islam. And we have to do it in a nice way. And we need to be able to provide the facts and the truthful information that will inspire them to leave the things of the world, so to speak, and to pursue and make the effort on the hereafter, realizing this world is temporary. It is temporary. It will not last forever. And then will you be? When it's over, where will you be? You only be one of two places, hell or paradise. That's it. No in between. So you have a choice. When Allah chooses, you have a choice to make effort now, to be among those, if you're not among the chosen today, but to work towards that reality. And then after death, inshallah ta'ala, Allah will make you among those who were chosen, those who did righteous deeds and actions, and Allah will reward them. So we want the rewards in this life, but we don't want to do the work. And everything that we're doing when we achieve wealth, there has to be some work connected to it in one form or fashion. So we're saying to every single Muslim who hears this program, wherever it is that you're living in the world today, work towards righteousness. Invite the people to righteousness. Don't get tired of talking to the people. People might get tired of hearing you. Don't get tired of talking to the people. Because you never know who is listening. You never know where they're going to be or where they're going. In many instances, you never see people again, and that person will come up on the day of judgment and say, this man talked to me, he said so-and-so and so-and-so. And as a result of that, I made efforts. And in making these efforts, I changed my life. And in changing my life, I began to impact other people. All this is going to that first person's account. The one who started, it's all coming into his account. So some people will see millions of people who were invited by them. They didn't know it, not knowingly. They were inviting one individual, but through that one individual, he impacted so many people. And it continues on until the day of judgment. And he sees all of these people. Say, I didn't invite all these people. Say, yes, you did. You don't remember this time. But now it is going to benefit you. Before, maybe you couldn't see it. You took the steps. But now that you hear, you will benefit. That Allah has promised the believers the paradise. That's right. He's promised the believers paradise. We have to hold on to truth and righteousness. Obey the commandments of Allah. Follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Believe with full belief and full action. That's right. There are people today that say, oh, brother, you know, you talk too much. Oh, brother, you're too active. I said, well, look at the condition of the world today. Look at the condition. The Muslims themselves are the biggest number of immigrants, as an example. Men, women, and children, globally, in very serious dilemma. So let's look at the set of circumstances we're on today. What are the steps that we need to take to come closer to Allah? What is it that we need to do? What is it that is for me, for the sake of my own soul? And that from this, inshallah, other people will understand the truth and be invited to truth and righteousness and striving for this on their own. So this is what we're saying. We want everyone to know this truth. We want everyone to be invited to this truth. And that, inshallah ta'ala, it would be for their benefit and for the people who invited them and for the people who come after them. So everyone who is connected to this effort will get benefit. So we have to ask ourselves, do we want to make effort for this benefit? Or do we want to just sit and let things happen? And some people are satisfied with that. Now, I have some work to do. As an example, they just sit and says, well, you know, time is up. What is your condition? And the things that we mentioned, understand this. What is your condition? How would you like to change it? What are the steps? What are the things that you need to do to move from point A to point F? As an example, there's a formula. You need to find that formula and implement it in your life so that you can be among those who will be smiling in the grave. You'll be among those who will be smiling on the day of judgment. Think about that. What will be your condition on the day of judgment? What will be your condition after the day of judgment? And only Allah knows, but we know what kind of efforts we can make presently. The question we have to ask ourselves, are we ready, willing, and able to make those efforts today to move forward with our relationships, with interpersonal relationships, to move forward, to do the dynamics of community organization, the dynamics of inviting people to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and bringing up with full faith that the true success is in obeying the commandments of Allah. True failure is the one who disobeys. So we're standing up for truth and righteousness. We're inviting the people to strive themselves for the sake of their own salvation, for the sake of their own souls. The clock is ticking, ticking. It will run out one day. What will be your condition? This we have to ask ourselves. What will be my condition when the clock runs out? So we have an opportunity today. We need to take full account of our present situation. What it is that I want to do in my life, where it is that I want to go, who am I hoping will be the people who will support me in this world, with belief that ultimately the solutions that we've tried to bring about in this world, maybe they will benefit someone, maybe not. But still, how do we proceed? What is our condition? What is the condition of our young people? How do we encourage them? How do we inspire them? How do we invite them to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How do we keep them on this path of righteousness, truth and righteousness for the sake of their own salvation? And that one day they will also have children, and they need a mechanism, meaning they have to have experience of how to address their children, how to raise them wherever they might be in a glove, how to raise them to obey the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to encourage and inspire them to make efforts and sacrifice for Allah's deen, for their own soul's sake, and believing in that they will be helped and those in need will be helped. So again, I keep asking people, where do you stand? We're calling the people out. Where do you stand? This is very, very important to understand. What is my perception today in relationship to my Lord? What is it I need to do to come closer to my Lord? Because nobody can say, oh, well, I'm close to my Lord right now. I don't need to come closer than that. Does that make sense? If we have an opportunity to be close to a millionaire or a billionaire today, would you say no? No, well, you know, I have some of my own thing. I don't really need to be with the billionaire unless you're also like that, independently wealthy. But the average person, of course not, would not say that. So what is our condition and what is the things that we need to do? And Abdullah bin Masud reported the Prophet said, he who has in his heart an ant's weight of arrogance will not enter Jannah. Someone asked or said, a man likes to wear beautiful clothes and shoes. The Prophet said, Allah is beautiful. He loves beauty. Arrogance means ridiculing. Arrogance means ridiculing and rejecting the truth and despising people. Despising people and rejecting the truth. So if you know people who are despising Islam and ridiculing Muslims and rejecting Islam, subhanAllah, I feel sorry for anyone who Islam was presented to them and they rejected it. And maybe you have time, maybe you don't. If you're one of those people, if you know somebody who is like that, you need to go see them today, if possible, and talk to them and tell them they need to take steps. Come to the masjid, local masjid, talk to the imam, so they can be convinced about the path to follow, about the things that they should be doing, and to move away from the things that they should not be doing. Knowing what you should do and not doing what you shouldn't do. And having clarity on these things. Many people confused. They're saying, look, man, this is 2018, man. It's 2019. You know, I'm doing my thing. I says, yeah, okay. You doing your thing? Is it disobedient to Allah? Correct your thing now, today, before it's too late. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to thank you for joining us here at Sharjah Media Corporation on getting to know Allah, getting to know your Lord, the creator, sustainer of all things, the one who is all powerful and all knowing. May Allah guide all of you out there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.